What's up? Ghost Fictions is here, and we're back again. This is the second part of a story where Issei was betrayed and left. But before we start, please consider subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Don't forget to check the description for more information. Now, let's get into part 2. Currently, Ravel and Issei find themselves in the underworld. As the teleportation circle flickers and disappears, they are greeted by the majestic sight of Phoenix Castle. Ravel turns to Issei, her voice filled with concern. Ravel. Ice, are you really sure about this? You don't have to go through with it if you're not ready. Issei's eyes were full of determination as he looked at Ravel. No, Ravel, it's something I have to do. I want to make amends for all the pain I've caused you during my absence. Not only that, but I also want to make things right with your family. I want to ask each and every member for their blessing to marry you, my beautiful Phoenix. Ravel's heart swelled with emotions upon hearing Issei's words. Ice, you have no idea how much that means to me. The fact that you're doing this for me and my family. It's truly heartwarming and means so much to me, Issei. But if you're truly set on doing this, then let's head inside the castle and go see my family. I'm sure they'll be surprised to see you alive with me, Issei smiled upon seeing Ravel's cute little smile. He loved seeing her happy, it reminded him of what he needed to do. He refocused himself for the conversation that was about to happen as they both headed into the castle. The couple made their way into the castle, but when they reached the entrance of a room, Ravel asked Issei to wait outside. Ravel entered the room, which turned out to be a living room. There, she found her parents and her two brothers engrossed in a lively conversation. Lady Phoenix. Oh, Ravel, you've returned so soon. How did the negotiations with the Yokai go, my dear daughter? Ravel. Welcome back, sister. I hope everything went well. Lord Phoenix. Daughter, it's a pleasant surprise to see you back already. How did the negotiations fare with the Yokai? Ravel. Mother, father, Ravel, and Riser, it went better than I could have expected. Ravel. That's wonderful news, Ravel. But I must admit, I am curious to know what has brought such a radiant smile to your face. Riser. Riser is genuinely shocked to see his sister so full of joy again. Lady Phoenix. Oh, my dear, it has been far too long since we last saw that beautiful smile of yours. Lord Phoenix. It's nice to see my daughter happy again. It's been a while since I've seen you smile, not since what happened to Issei Haidu. Ravel. Speaking of Issei, there is someone I would like you all to meet. Please come in, honey. At that moment, Issei walks into the room, and everyone's eyes widen in surprise as they realize who it is. Lord Lady Ravel Riser. Issei Haidu. Ravel. Mother, father, Ravel, and Riser, I know you must have a lot of questions for him, but please let him explain. Issei sighed and started to explain everything to Lord and Lady Phoenix, Ravel, and Riser. After 45 minutes, he finished telling them everything, leaving Lord and Lady Phoenix, along with Ravel and Riser, speechless until Lord Phoenix spoke. Lord Phoenix. You know, Issei, at first I was mad that you broke up the marriage between my son and Rias. But now I get it, you were just a pawn in her game, and she used you to get what she wanted. I am sad that the marriage did not go through, especially since the prestige and reputation of the Phoenix has gone down since that day. But now I see a way to fix that with the marriage of the Red Dragon Emperor to my lovely daughter, Ravel. But now after everything you told us and how you will be marrying Lady Asaka soon and becoming the new lord of the Yokai, and with you marrying our Ravel, it will strengthen our bond with the Yokai faction, not to mention that you are now half dragon and kitsune. I can only imagine the powerful offspring that will come from this union, so I approve. That's when Lord Phoenix was cut off before he could finish his sentence by his wife. Lady Phoenix. Hold on, dear. I agree that Issei was manipulated and unwillingly dragged into the supernatural world, but there are some things I need to say before we give our blessing for him to marry Ravel. Issei, unlike my husband, you mean something different to me. Well, actually, to my daughter. But I want you to know, as a mother, I saw how devastated my daughter was when she thought you had died, and the actions that caused this whole situation. Although what you did was only a reaction to others' actions, it still doesn't make it any less heartbreaking to see how broken she was. She was always sad and never talked to us anymore. It hurt all of us to see her like that. But as her mother, it broke my heart to see her so heartbroken. I tried my best to comfort her, but nothing worked. I felt like a failure as a mother. So, with all that said, I understand why you did what you did because of Rias and the others. But here's what I need to know. What does my daughter mean to you? And how would you make up for all the pain and heartache you caused her? Riser and Ravel were not surprised by their father's words, they expected nothing less from him. However, they were surprised by their mother's honesty when it came to expressing her emotions about what had happened and how it turned Ravel into an emotionless shell of her former self. As she was saying all that, she began crying. They couldn't help but empathize with her, knowing how their sister had been shattered since Issei's supposed death. Despite their efforts to comfort her, nothing seemed to work. And now, it seemed like their mother shared the same fear. That Ravel would never be the same again. Lord Phoenix, understanding his wife's pain all too well, remained silent. He had spent countless nights consoling her, assuring her that things would eventually improve and their daughter would return to her old self. But deep down, he knew how devastated she truly was. As a father, it pained him beyond words. Despite his reputation for using his children for the clan's prestige and benefit, he loved his family fiercely and felt just as broken as his wife to witness their little girl so broken. Ravel, feeling downcast after hearing her mother's emotions and seeing her tears, couldn't help but blame herself for causing her family so much pain over the past 8 months. However, before she could dwell on her guilt any longer, her attention was drawn to Issei, who stood up and spoke. Issei. I deeply apologize to you, Lord and Lady Phoenix, as well as to you, Ruvel and Riser. My actions were selfish and resulted in immense pain and heartache for your family. I am truly sorry for the suffering I have caused. Additionally, I must also apologize for hurting Ravel so much. After all, she was only trying to help me and keep me from falling into despair, which she saw was being caused by the other girls on that fateful day. Despite her genuine attempts to help me, I was overwhelmed by feelings of betrayal, making me want to get away from those who I believed treated me as nothing more than expendable, even after everything I've done for them. Regrettably, I gave in to despair and committed an unthinkable act in front of her, which made her think I had died. For this, I can only express my deepest apologies. All of the Phoenix family members were surprised by Issei's words. Ravel. Issei, what are you doing? Issei cut her off before she could finish speaking. Issei. I know the damage I have caused and the pain I put Ravel through. And believe me when I say this, I do not want to do that again. I'm a dragon, yet I'm also a kitsune. Being a dragon, I value my treasures and I will protect them with everything I have. But I'm also a yokai who cherishes my partner just as much as a dragon does. I realize how much I love your daughter and she is like a treasure to me, Lady and Lord Phoenix. From her loving and caring personality to her elegance and nobility, she shines. I love seeing when she gets flustered or how, when she's embarrassed, she acts like she doesn't care, but turns her head and has a cute pout on her face. And her delicious cooking, which she puts so much love and care into every dish she makes, and the adorable smile she has when seeing someone enjoy what she makes. Ravel was currently trying to hold back her tears of joy and happiness from hearing Issei say all the things he loves about her. Issei. Ravel is the woman I want to see smile every chance I get. I want to always wake up with her next to me, so the first thing I see would be her beautiful sapphire eyes looking at me with nothing but love. I want to see Ravel on our wedding day, smiling and happy as I slide the ring onto her finger. She is the woman I want to have a family with and raise children together. So, Lord Phoenix, you should know that I will not let our children be used for breeding stock for the council or for your own family's personal gain, because I love Ravel Phoenix and I will love the future family we make together with all of my heart. And I'll protect them from anyone or anything that wants to cause harm to my family or loved ones. Even if I must sacrifice my own life to keep them safe, I will do so without hesitation if that is necessary to protect them. With all that said, Lord and Lady Phoenix, as well as both Ruvel and Riser, those are the reasons I love Ravel Phoenix and why I want to marry her, and I hope I can get your blessings to do so. All of the Phoenix members were shocked and astonished by the amount of passion and determination they could feel in every word Issei spoke to them, especially how he talked about Ravel in such a loving and protective way. They knew Issei meant everything he said. However, Lady Phoenix was the most pleased with Issei's words regarding her daughter and how he felt about her. She could tell that the boy had not lost his earnest and honest personality when it came to expressing his feelings. Even after everything that had happened to him, she was happy and satisfied with his answer, knowing that he truly loved her daughter. Ravel was crying out of happiness until she couldn't hold herself back anymore after hearing everything Issei said about her. She got off the couch and ran in front of Issei. In front of her parents and both of her brothers, she jumped onto Issei, wrapping her legs around his waist and putting her arms around his head, and gave him the most passionate, loving kiss she could, while Issei reciprocated the kiss with the same amount of intensity. While this was going on, all the Phoenix members were speechless, seeing Ravel act so boldly in front of them. Eventually, they broke the kiss and looked lovingly into each other's eyes, putting their foreheads against each other. Ravel then told Issei that she loves him, and Issei told Ravel that he loves her. But they were soon broken out of their musings by a coughing sound made by Lady Phoenix. Lady Phoenix. Phew, oh my sweet little Ravel has become so bold. Ravel had an atomic blush after realizing the position she was in and what she was doing in front of her entire family. She could only put her face into Issei's chest in embarrassment. Lady Phoenix. Well, that's all I needed to know and see. I have made my decision. Issei Haidu, you have my blessing to marry my daughter. So take care of her and that precious smile of hers that you treasure so much. She looked at her husband. What about you, my love? Would you give him your blessing? Lord Phoenix. Issei Haidu, I know you must think I'm only giving you my daughter to have a strong child born from your union with her. But I've learned something after these 8 months of seeing my daughter so broken. And I now understand that my family means more to me than the prestige of my clan. But that said, I'm still a proud member of the Phoenix clan, and don't get me wrong, your joining our family will definitely fix our damaged reputation and restore our prestige. But I will no longer sacrifice my children's happiness for others' gain. So please understand that if you and my daughter have children together, I have no intentions of using my grandchildren for political gain. All I want is for them to know that they have loving grandparents, as well as 2 great uncles. Now that I've made my intentions clear to you, I give you my blessing to marry my daughter. But I will hold you to your word that you will protect my daughter with your life. Issei puts Ravel down, confusing her until she sees him put his hand out in front of her father. Then, Lord Phoenix stands up and shakes Issei's hand. Issei. It makes me happy to hear that, Lord Phoenix. I give you my word that I'll protect her no matter what. He said to Lord Phoenix while smiling. Lord Phoenix. Please call my wife and me mother and father from now on because you're part of this family from now on. Lady Phoenix. Yes, Issei, please just call me mother from now on. You're family now. But I must say, Issei, I'm impressed. You even made my husband change his ways and realize that his family is more important than what could benefit the clan or what the council wants. And for that, I must thank you. Issei. Is that so? Well then, mother and father, feel free to call me son. I'm glad I could help him see that family is more important than some clan or council. Both Lord and Lady Phoenix are happy to know that Issei is comfortable with them, calling him son. It shows that he fully accepts them as family, and they are happy to know that. Lady Phoenix. Yes, indeed. But what about you, Rueval, and Riser? Would you give Issei your blessings to marry your sister? Ravel is happy to see her parents accepting Issei so warmly and lovingly. They even want him to address them as mother and father, and Issei allows them to call him son. Ravel is very happy that her family is accepting him and giving their blessings for him to marry her. She is only worried about what her 2 eldest brothers think of Issei and whether or not they will give their blessings as well. Rueval. To be honest, I haven't had many chances to actually interact with you in the past. But judging by your actions and all the deeds you have performed, I see that you are worthy enough to be with my baby sister. But even without knowing all of that, it wouldn't change the fact that I can see how happy you make my adorable baby sister. You brought back that smile we all missed, so I'm happy to call you my brother-in-law. I give you my blessing, and Ravel. Ravel, yes Rueval. Rueval. I'm happy you have found your true love, my baby sister. Ravel ran up and hugged Rueval, thanking him. It truly meant a lot to her hearing her brother say that and give his support in marrying the man she loves. Rueval. You're welcome, my adorable Ravel. He stood up and put out his hand to shake Issei's. Issei shook Rueval's hand. Issei, thank you Rueval. I'm happy to know that you accept me into the family and that I have your blessing to marry Ravel. Rueval. Think nothing of it, but if you could, please give me some nieces and nephews soon, hahaha. Ravel blushed heavily at the comment from her brother. Ravel. Rueval, don't say things like that in front of everyone. Lady Phoenix. Ara, but you had no problem passionately kissing him in front of your parents and both of your brothers, my sweet Ravel. Ravel could only blush madly and bury her face in her hands. Rueval. Hahaha, it's good to see you act like this again, Ravel. But I think we still need to hear from one more person. Lord Phoenix. You're right, Rueval. So, Riser, what are your thoughts about Issei marrying your sister and you giving him your blessing to do so? Everyone looks towards Riser, who finally speaks. Riser. Riser is honestly still upset about how you made my sister suffer for months. But Riser will admit that this is the first time in a long time that I've seen Ravel this happy and smiling again. And after hearing everything you said about Ravel and seeing her reaction, Riser will give you his blessing on one condition. Issei. What would that be? Riser. Riser knows how much dragons love their freedom, and as punishment for the months of pain you caused my sister, I, Riser Phoenix, demand Issei Haidu to give up his freedom and become Ravel's first peerage member. He will be her queen and serve by her side. Ravel. Brother, what? Riser cuts his sister off. Riser. No, Ravel, this is what I demand of him. If he truly loves you like he says he does, then he will do this if he wants my blessing and approval to marry you. Ravel was about to protest until Issei spoke up. Issei. I agree to your terms, Riser Phoenix. Ravel was surprised that Issei agreed, as were Rueval, Lady Phoenix, and Lord Phoenix. However, Riser was happy to know that Issei agreed to this. Ravel. But why? Issei. Ravel, my love, your brother asked this of me for a simple reason. It's a punishment for the pain I caused you and your family. Riser cares deeply about you, just like everyone else here, and he, like everyone else, saw all the pain and suffering I caused you. I regret hurting you, my love, over the past 8 months due to my selfish actions. So if being your first peerage member is the price Riser believes I must pay to get his blessing to marry you, then I have no objections. I will do it. Ravel started to cry after realizing how far Issei was willing to go for her family's blessing to marry her. She ran up to Issei and hugged him tightly, crying softly in happiness because, once again, Issei proved how much she really means to him. The other Phoenix members understood why Issei agreed to Riser's terms to get his blessing and approved of how far Issei was willing to go for Ravel. Issei showed them that he truly loved her, which made any lingering doubts they had towards Issei completely disappear. Riser is pleased you agreed. Issei. Yes, but I'll have to get Ajuka to make a special piece, though. Considering I'm a little too strong for any real pieces other than a mutated queen piece to turn me into a devil again. And I'm not willing to become a devil again, not after what happened. But I'm sure Ajuka could make a unique queen piece for Ravel that would make me part of her peerage, but not turn me into a devil. So, Riser, if you're okay with that, then I'll become my lover's queen. Riser has no issue with that. As long as you become her queen, I'm fine with it. Issei. Good, I'll talk to Ajuka about this so he can start working on it. Lord Phoenix. I'm amazed you agree to that, knowing that once you become part of my daughter's peerage, even if you don't turn into a devil again, her being your king, she could enforce her will onto you by using her authority as your king. Ravel was upset, hearing her father say that about her, thinking she would do that to Issei after all he's been through due to Ria's actions. Issei. Father, I know she wouldn't do that. Ravel is not like that. I trust her enough to know she would never do that to me. Lord Phoenix. It makes me happy to know you have so much trust in my daughter. Ravel, who was still holding Issei, looked up at him and smiled, knowing he trusts her so much. Riser. Issei Haidu, I, Riser Phoenix, give you my blessing to marry my sister. He extended his fist to Issei. Ravel let go of Issei, and he walked up to Riser and returned the fist bump. Issei, thank you Riser. I promise to always protect and love your sister for as long as I breathe. Riser. You better, and just remember, if you hurt my sister, I'll burn you to ashes. Issei. I will never do that again. I promise you on my dragon pride. Riser. Good. Lord Phoenix. So when will you announce the wedding? Issei. Within the next day or so because I intend to make a broadcast announcing my return. Lady Phoenix. It seems you're truly cutting all ties with the Grimoires now because of Ria's. Issei. Yes, mother, a lot of things are about to happen, and as soon as my full story is released, the Grimoires are going to feel the full consequences of her actions, especially from the Shinto pantheon, since they now know of her actions. Lord Phoenix. Well, you'll have our full support in this because from what you've explained to us, you're working with the other two mouths, Ajuka and Seraphol, right? Although I don't think your relationship with Surziches will be affected too much by your actions, because most likely he will support you in this. He always puts his duties as a leader above his obligations to his family. Issei. Yeah, true. But the fact that I didn't defend him or his sister, and I defended Seraphol and Sona, could cause some tension. Ravel. Love, you said it yourself. He should have been more involved in monitoring Ria's, considering it was her first time running a territory. She abused the power she had and proved herself incapable of handling the responsibilities of running a territory. Ravel. I have to agree with my sister here. From what you told us, there were a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided if she had just taken the responsibility seriously and wasn't entitled and selfish. Lord Phoenix. True, but moving on from that, I would like to know when we should expect this wedding to happen. Lady Phoenix. Oh yes, we should start preparing for it. I know you said your wedding with Yusaka is in 2 weeks. Issei. Yes mother. Lady Phoenix. Can we schedule it a week after that? Issei. That shouldn't be a problem, but just in case, be prepared as we might have to move it back a week or 2 after my wedding with Yusaka's mother. Lady Phoenix. That won't be a problem, dear. But will you be okay with that, Ravel? Ravel. That will be fine, mother. I'm just looking forward to being married to the man I love. Issei. Same here, my love. Issei put his hand on Ravel's, causing her to look up at him and see him smiling at her. As she grabbed his hand in return, she looked up at him with her beautiful sapphire eyes and a heart-melting smile. This made both Lord and Lady Phoenix smile warmly, and Ravel nodded in approval, while Riser looked away, but was happy to see his little sister smiling and happy again. But all of a sudden, a magical circle appeared next to Issei's ear. Issei. Hello. Seraphol. Ice-kun. We need your help. Issei Serafal, what's going on? He said, getting up. Serafal. The Chaos Brigade is currently attacking the capital of Lilith and has captured a part of the city. They have gathered all civilians in the area and are threatening to execute them. We need you here now, please. Issei. I'll be there as soon as possible. Serafal. Thank you, Ice-kun, but please hurry. The call ended. Ravel. What's happening, love? Issei. The Chaos Brigade is attacking Lilith and they need my help. They have hostages and they're going to start threatening to kill them. Lord Lady Phoenix. Oh no. Ruvel Riser. We will join you. Issei. No, Ruvel and Riser, stay here. This could be a diversion to lure out ultimate and high-class devils from other areas, leaving them vulnerable to attack. I understand your frustrations about the situation, but it's better for me to go than either of you. Mainly because they wouldn't be expecting their reinforcements to be the Red Dragon Emperor, who has been labeled as dead. It will throw them off just in case they do plan to attack other locations. So, I will go there and stop them, and at the same time, I will show them that the Red Dragon Emperor has returned. Lord Phoenix. He is right about that, Ruvel and Riser. This could be a diversion to lure out more high-class and ultimate-class devils to help out with the situation in Lilith. And we could be walking right into their trap if we do. Riser. Damn it. Ruvel. I understand, father. Issei, you should be able to fly from here to the capital of Lilith in 10 minutes. I would say just teleport there, but they most likely put up barriers preventing you from teleporting in or out of the capital itself at this moment. Issei. I understand, thanks Ruvel. Ravel. I'm coming with you. Issei. No, I won't risk your life or you being captured. If that happened, I would never forgive myself. Ravel. Well, I just got you back and I won't let you go alone, only to lose you again. Tears started to form in her eyes. But Issei saw this and kissed her to calm her down. Ravel reciprocated the kiss until Issei broke it off as he wiped away her tears. Issei. My love, have faith in me. I will not abandon you ever again. Ravel. Alright, I'll hold you to that, my love. So you better come back to me. Issei. I will. Father, where is the closest exit so I can start heading towards the capital? Lord Phoenix. Ruvel, can you show him, please? Best of luck, son. Ruvel, yes father. Come on, Issei. I'll show you the closest exit out of the castle. Issei. Thanks, father. Alright, let's go. After Issei left, Ravel looked sad until her mother put her hands on her shoulders. Ravel. Mother. Lady Phoenix. Have faith in him, my daughter. He will return to you. He's never been known to break his promises and I doubt he'll start now. Ravel. You're right, mother. Go kick some terrorist ass, my love. Lady Phoenix. Now let's start planning and preparing your wedding, my dear daughter. Ravel. Alright, mother. Scene change. Outside the Phoenix Castle. Issei, thanks Ruvel. Ruvel. No, thank you for bringing my sister back and making her happy again. So you better come back for her sake. Issei. I will. Dreg, are you ready? Dreg. Hell yeah, partner. It's time to see the result of the training we've done over the last few months and try out some of the new abilities you've learned. Issei. Well then, let's do it. Dreg. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Issei. Hell yeah. Let's go and show the world that the Red Dragon Emperor has returned. Dreg. I'm with you all the way, partner. Issei flies away towards Lilith. Ruvel. Man, that power he was radiating was incredible. Maybe when I see him next time, I'll ask him to spar with me. Issei is flying through the skies of the underworld, heading to Lilith. His goal. To save the hostages, take down the Chaos Brigade, and make a grand return to the supernatural world. He wants everyone in the underworld, especially the kids who admire him, to know their hero is back and ready to save the day. Issei is full of hope and determination as he pushes forward, aiming for victory. Scene. Underworld, capital city of Lilith. Paris leader. We have received orders to kill the hostages. Paris 2. Can we have some fun with them before we kill them? Paris leader. Certainly, go ahead, men. Enjoy yourselves. Paris 2. Alright, time for some fun. Come here, you. Mother. Please, no. Child. Leave my mommy alone. The child bravely stood in front of his mother, wielding a toy version of the Red Dragon's gauntlet aimed at the terrorists. Paris 1. Ha ha ha. Look, the brat thinks he can fight us with a toy. Paris 2. Hey kid, didn't anyone tell you your hero is dead? Ha ha. Paris 3. Let's kill the kid and have fun with his mother. After we are done with her, we will kill her because we still have other hostages to kill and violate. Ha ha ha. Child. My hero isn't dead. Starts crying, because I believe in the Op-Eye Dragon, and he will return when we need him the most. Sob. And when he does, he will defeat all of you because he is our hero. But until he arrives, I'll follow in his footsteps and what he stood for. I will stand against you evil bad guys, I will stand up to you, and I won't let you hurt anyone. I will protect the innocent and those who can't protect themselves, no matter what. Because that's what he taught me, so I'll protect my mommy and make my hero proud. Sob. One of the terrorists walked over to the boy while raising his axe to strike the child, and he spoke condescendingly to the boy. Terrorist 2. Haha, sorry to disappoint you, kid, but this isn't some Saturday morning cartoon TV show where the hero will save the day at the end. This is real life, kid, and no one is coming to save you or your mother or anyone else that we want to kill or harm. But I'll give you a special prize for your foolish bravery. I'll reunite you with your hero in the afterlife. Ha ha ha. Mother? No. Please do whatever you want to me, but don't hurt my baby. Please, I beg of you. The terrorist who was right in front of the boy told his mother to shut up. He told her that if he wants to play hero, then I'll show him our heroes can die horrible and tragic deaths. But don't worry, once we're done killing him, we'll make sure you look at his dead body as we violate you. And we will take our time with it too, and make it as painful and traumatic for you as possible before we end your life. After saying that, the devil was ready to swing down his axe on the boy. The mother was stuck there, being bound with magic holding her down, preventing her from running to her son. All she could do was scream for them to stop as she watched in horror as they were going to kill her baby boy in front of her. She cried out for anyone to help, to save him. Mother. Please, don't do this. Please, someone, stop them. Save my baby. The boy, seeing this, closed his eyes with tears still falling from them. He was terrified and scared, but he gathered all the strength and courage he had and formed his hand into a fist with the toy version of the Red Dragon's gauntlet. While shouting with all his might and extending his arm, he mimicked the same attack his hero used. Child essay. Dragon shot. The devil was blown away before his axe reached the boy. The devils were surprised by the attack that came out of nowhere, which took out one of their comrades. They also felt a sense of fear wash over them when they sensed a wave of murderous and killing intent directed towards them. This caused the devil who was casting the magic that was holding the mother down, preventing her from running up to her son, to release the spell he was casting on her due to the pure shock and dread that he was feeling from that killing intent. Soon, one of them finally spoke up and broke the others out of their shock. Terrorist 1. What the hell? Terrorist leader? Who was that? Essay. Man, you guys have no shame or self-respect to try to kill a child and violate his mother. Even worse, you would do it in front of me. You all know how to truly enrage a dragon. The child's surprise grew as he realized he hadn't been struck by the attack. Recalling the earlier shout of dragon shot, he cautiously opened his eyes. To his delight, he found himself face to face with his savior, the one who had rescued both him and his mother, his hero. Overwhelmed with emotion, tears streamed down the child's face as he spoke in between sobs. It's really you, Op-Eye Dragon. I always knew you were alive. I never stopped believing in you, because deep down, I knew you would come to our rescue. And now, here you are. Issei turns around, dematerializing his helmet, and kneels down on one knee to look at the boy, while giving a warm and reassuring smile before speaking. Issei. Good job, little man. You showed those bad guys that you're not someone to mess with. The Op-Eye Dragon is super proud of you, both for being so brave and for standing up for your mom. You held them off until I got here. But rest assured, your hero is here, and I will take care of it from here. Now, while I handle these guys, I need you and your mom to get out of here. That's when the boy's mother runs up and grabs her child in a loving embrace, holding him while crying. She then looks up to the man whom everyone knows is the hero of the underworld, the Red Dragon Emperor Issei Haidu. She is so happy and relieved that her son was saved by his hero, and even more relieved, knowing that if their hero is here, everything will be alright and he will save everybody. Getting out of her thoughts, she speaks to him in a somber and grateful tone. Mother. Thank you so much for saving me and my child. Sobbing. Issei stands up and turns to face the devil terrorist while speaking to the mother. No problem, ma'am, but I must ask you to leave with your child immediately. It's not safe here, and I don't want either of you to be caught up in the fighting. Mother. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for saving my baby boy and protecting both of us. I am forever grateful. Afterwards, the mother picked up her son, and they began heading in a different direction to escape the area before the fighting broke out. However, before they could get too far away, the boy managed to wipe away his tears and speak to Issei, offering some encouraging words. Child. Kick their butts, Op-Eye Dragon. Issei gave a thumbs up to the boy, who smiled, while his mother held him as they ran away. Eventually, they were both out of sight. Issei then focused his attention on the enemy, materializing his helmet for the fight to come, while asking his dragon partner Drake something. Issei. Drake, did you see the way that child stood up to defend his mother? Drake. Yes, I did, partner. Issei. Then you understand the depth of my rage that these devil bastards have stirred within me. Drake. I understand, partner. Let's show them what it means to fight an enraged and angered dragon. Do it for that child who stood up for his mother and for everyone else who has been waiting for you to return. It's time for them to see that their hero has returned to save them once again. And for our enemies to know that the Red Dragon Emperor has returned and will show them why they feared you before and why they will fear you once again. Issei. I completely agree with you. Let's show them the unstoppable force of an enraged and angered dragon that they have just brought upon themselves. Drake. I agree with you, partner. Now show that anger and rage that they brought out of you. Terrorist 1. What are you talking about and how are you alive? We thought you were dead. Terrorist 3. Yeah, we never expected to face the Red Dragon Emperor again. Terrorist leader. Enough. It makes no difference now because we will be the ones to kill him and be given the glory and praise for doing so once we bring your severed head to the leaders of the Chaos Brigade. Issei. You all seem to think killing me and taking my head will be easy. Well, go ahead, give it a shot. I dare you all to come at me and see if you're capable of taking me down. Scene change. The capital of Lilith, outside the terrorist-controlled areas of the city. Reporter. We are now broadcasting live from the capital of Lilith, providing an update on the current situation. I am joined here by Surzich's Lucifer and Seraphol Leviathan. Could you share any details about your plan to rescue the hostages held by the Chaos Brigade? Before they could respond, a thunderous dragon's roar echoed through the air, capturing everyone's attention. All eyes turned upwards, filled with astonishment. Issei. Reporter. I am utterly amazed by the spectacle unfolding before my eyes. Issei Haidu, the Red Dragon Emperor and the true hero of the underworld, has returned and is currently battling against the Chaos Brigade. Seraphol. Ice Kun. Surzich's. Issei. The citizens erupted in cheers, their hearts filled with hope as they witnessed their revered hero return to rescue them in their darkest hour. However, none were as overjoyed and exhilarated as the children who caught a glimpse of their beloved Up-Eye dragon, returning to restore peace and save the day. Back with Issei. Issei. Drake, there are so many of them. It's like dealing with multiple annoying mosquitoes that won't leave you alone. So, I think it's time we get out the bug spray, don't you think? Let's show how truly outmatched these terrorist devil scum are compared to us. What do you say, partner? Drake. I agree, partner. They aren't even a threat to us, they are like annoying bugs flying around us that couldn't hurt us, they only act as a mere annoyance. However, you have the power to blast them all away in a second if you truly power up to your full potential right now. But, you would waste more power just by powering up than you would use to take them out, it would be overkill. I also don't believe that they are worthy enough to die with such power, considering these individuals are willing to violate women and kill children. They don't deserve the honor of dying by your full strength. Personally, they shouldn't even be granted the pleasure of dying by my balance breaker. However, I understand why you're using it. But I digress. Though I do agree with your idea. You should give your new moves a try and see how much better you've become with the mastery of these new techniques you've created. Issei. Yeah, I guess you're right. I could take care of these terrorists without breaking a sweat. But come on, where's the excitement in that? Gotta flex a little, you know, give the people that have been waiting for my return a show and show the children how strong their hero has become. Drake. Well, I think I know what you're getting at, partner, and I completely agree. Let's do it. Issei. Hell yeah, I'm glad you agree with what I was thinking, Drake. But enough talk. It's time to kick some terrorist ass, but first, let's even the playing field a little bit with some of my dragon clones. Soon, Issei was engulfed in a red glow, and as quickly as it came, it disappeared. What came from it was 10 Issei clones, all adorned in the balance breaker armor. Drake, exceptional work, partner. You've outdone yourself. You made 10 clones this time, a new record. Issei. Hell yeah, a new record, but that's enough wasting time, let's get to it. Drake. Agreed. Issei. Alright, boys, our mission is to rescue the hostages and eliminate every last member of the Chaos Brigade. I want all the members of this terrorist group to suffer a painful death. They deserve it for what they've done. Make them suffer for all the innocent lives they have hurt and those they've killed. But above all else, make sure rescuing the hostages is the priority and no harm comes to them in the process. Understand? Clones, yes sir. After that, Issei and his 10 clones split up and begin rescuing the hostages and defeating the members of the Chaos Brigade. Meanwhile, the news reporters and Devil Kings watch intently, closely observing the unfolding situation. Seraphol. Oh my, there are now 10 ice cunts. Surzich's. When did he acquire such a remarkable ability? Reporter. I am genuinely astonished to witness the Red Dragon Emperor unveiling a newfound power. He is effortlessly rescuing the hostages and triumphing over the Chaos Brigade. After a short amount of time, the remaining members of the Chaos Brigade were killed or managed to retreat, and all the hostages were successfully freed. Issei realized he had won the battle and defeated the Chaos Brigade assault. He called back his dragon clones, absorbing them back into himself before releasing a resounding roar of triumph. Issei. After Issei let out his victory roar, he noticed Surziches, Seraphol, and a reporter below. He used a message spell to ask Seraphol for help in arranging a meeting with the other Devil Kings and a certain individual he's been meaning to talk to. He also wanted her to give the reporter a message on his behalf about the upcoming broadcast he intends to do, showing all those within the underworld and members of the Alliance what happened to him, everything he has learned, and what he wants to tell them all. Issei then flew off in the direction of Leviathan Castle to meet up with Seraphol, have the meeting with the other Devil Kings, and talk to someone he has been wanting to see but hasn't been able to properly speak with since his return. Reporter. It brings me immense joy to report that our valiant hero not only made a miraculous return when we needed him the most, but also rescued the hostages from the clutches of the Chaos Brigade. He single-handedly beat back the Chaos Brigade's assault. Lady Seraphol and Lord Surziches, I am eager to hear your thoughts on the Red Dragon Emperor's current return, his newfound abilities, and the transformation he displayed and underwent. Seraphol stepped up, relieving the reporter of the microphone, in order to deliver Issei's message. Seraphol. I am here to provide information to those who have questions regarding Issei Haidu. He will be making a public address in a few days to explain his disappearance and absence and share details of the past 8 months. This is the message he wanted me to pass on to those citizens within the underworld and members and citizens of the different factions of the Alliance until the broadcast day. That's all I have been asked to relay. I will let my fellow Mu, Surziches Lucifer, take it from here with any further questions you may have. After returning the microphone to the reporter, Seraphol proceeded to walk towards Surziches. She informed him about Issei's request for a gathering with all the Devil Kings. Seraphol. Surziches, Issei has summoned a meeting with all the Devil Kings, and he specifically expressed his desire to meet with us. With that, Seraphol vanished in a teleportation, leaving Surziches to handle the remaining tasks. Surziches. So, Issei wants to have another conversation with me. I hope I can mend our relationship, or at least help him reconcile with Grafia. She's been feeling so down, believing that Issei despises her. But damn it, Seraphol just left me to deal with this mess on my own. Scene changed to Leviathan Castle. As Seraphol arrived at the Leviathan mansion, she was taken aback to find Issei already waiting for her in her office. The sight of him brought a smile to her face, as she had longed for his presence during his 8-month absence. Seraphol. Hey, Ice-kun. Unable to contain her excitement, Seraphol embraced Issei, expressing her admiration for his triumphant return and his newfound abilities and techniques. Issei. Thank you, Seraphol, but I actually came here with a purpose. Seraphol. Oh, what might that be, Ice-kun? Issei. I would like to speak to Grafia in private, just the two of us, if you don't mind. Seraphol. Smiling, I can arrange that, Ice-kun. Grateful for Seraphol's willingness to assist, Issei expressed his gratitude before she arranged a room for his meeting with Grafia. Seraphol then reached out to Grafia to convey Issei's request. Seraphol. Hello Grafia. I hope I'm not bothering you, but I need to ask you something. Grafia. Good day Lady Seraphol. And no, it's not a bother at all. But how may I be of assistance to you? Seraphol. I have someone who would like to have a private meeting with you. Grafia. Oh, is that so? May I inquire who it is? Seraphol. It's Issei. He asked me to contact you for a private meeting prior to the gathering with the other Devil Kings. Grafia. I will be there in 15 minutes. Seraphol. Alright, see you then. After concluding the call with Seraphol, Grafia experiences a mix of nervousness and anticipation. The prospect of meeting Issei, someone she regards as a little brother, holds immense significance for her. Before leaving, Grafia plans to leave Milikas with his grandparents. However, before she can tell her son anything, Milikas notices that his mother looks nervous and sees her hands shaking. He asks her if she is okay. Milikas. Mom, are you okay? Your hands are shaking. Grafia. Yes, sweetheart, I am fine. I just need to attend to some matters. But can you go and spend some time with your grandparents? Milikas. If you are sure, Mom. And alright. After Milikas left his mom to be with his grandparents, Grafia couldn't help but reflect on how much her son longed for Issei's presence as a beloved older brother figure. A solitary tear escaped her eye, silently conveying her yearning for reconciliation. With a heavy heart, Grafia utilized teleportation to arrive at the Leviathan castle, holding on to hope that her meeting with Issei would mend their relationship and restore joy to their family. Scene change. Seraphol's office. Grafia teleported to the Leviathan castle and arrived in Seraphol's office. The room looked grand with beautiful tapestries and lavish furniture, matching the castle's regal atmosphere. Seraphol then greeted Grafia kindly, saying, "Welcome, Grafia." Grafia nodded in acknowledgement with a courteous bow and replied, "Thank you, Lady Seraphol." Seraphol quickly told Grafia there was no time for small talk or pleasantries and informed her where she could find Issei. She instructed Grafia to follow her to go see him. "Come with me, Issei is waiting," she said. Grafia smiled briefly before returning to her serious and stoic expression, asking Lady Seraphol to please lead the way. They walked for about 5 minutes until Seraphol brought Grafia to a room in the castle. "He's in there," Seraphol told her. "You two can have a private meeting. I have some tasks to do before the meeting with the Devil Kings that Issei called for. You have about an hour before that meeting, so there's plenty of time for you to talk and clear things up. I have my own duties as the Mu, so I'll leave now." Grafia thanked Seraphol. "Thank you," she said. Seraphol smiled reassuringly and left. "You're welcome. I believe things will turn out better than you think," she said, encouraging Grafia before disappearing around the corner. Left alone, Grafia took a deep breath before opening the door and stepping into the room. She closed the door behind her, turned around to find Issei standing up, a warm smile on his face. "Issei. Hey, big sister," Issei greeted her with a warm and kind smile. "It's good to see you again, but this time in a better situation." Grafia's stoic demeanor crumbled as Issei's words touched her heart. The boy she had always considered her little brother referred to her as his big sister. Overwhelmed with emotion, she rushed towards him, wrapping her arms tightly around him as tears streamed down her face. "How could you do this to your big sister?" she cried, her voice a mix of relief and frustration. "Do you realize how heartbroken I was when I believed I had lost you forever?" Issei gently embraced Grafia, providing her with the space to express the suppressed emotions she had concealed for so long. "I understand, sis," he whispered softly. "Please take a seat and I'll tell you everything, especially the things I wanted to share before you had to leave with Surzich's and Ria's because of Lady Amaterasu's orders." As Issei explained the situation to Grafia, Seraphol took the initiative to contact the other demon lords, Ajuka Beelzebub and Falbium Asmodeus, informing them about Issei's request for a meeting with all the Devil Kings present. Falbium expressed surprise upon hearing Ajuka's previous mention of Issei's return as the Red Dragon Emperor, confirming the authenticity of the news. Seraphol affirmed Falbium's observation, emphasizing that Issei must have something of great importance to discuss with all the Devil Kings in attendance. Ajuka inquired about the timing of the meeting, to which Seraphol replied that it would commence in an hour, asking if there were any scheduling conflicts. Meanwhile, Issei and Grafia continued their conversation, with Issei taking an additional 45 minutes to disclose all the details, including his future plans moving forward. Grafia. "Issei, I understand your reasoning, and I appreciate your efforts to protect my son. However, it's crucial for you to realize that your plan will sever your ties with the Gremory clan. Moreover, by exposing the council's favoritism towards pure-blooded devils and their involvement in the Nekomata race's slaughter and enslavement, you will make yourself a target. Have you considered the potential consequences of your actions?" Issei. "Grafia, I am fully aware of the implications. I want to clarify that my intentions are not aimed at Lady Venelon or Lord Zeoticus. However, as Riaz is the heiress of the Gremory clan, her actions reflect on the clan and its reputation within the Devil Society. By revealing the abuses of power and misconduct she has committed while governing." Grafia. "Issei, I must say, you have grown remarkably within such a short span of time. I am incredibly proud of you for taking your future responsibilities as a faction leader seriously. I completely support your plans moving forward. However, it is important to inform the other Devil Kings, including Surzich's, especially considering that some of your plans involve our son, Milikas." Issei. "I understand, Grafia. I have already made arrangements for that. After rescuing the hostages and defeating the Cows Brigade, I had Seraphol inform the other Maus that I requested a meeting with all of them." Grafia. "Ah, I see that you have thought ahead in that regard. But what about Azazel, Michael and Auden? Do you intend to involve them in your plans as well?" Issei. "Yes, I definitely plan on including Azazel, Michael, and Auden. However, I'll talk to those 3 leaders separately. I will have the same conversation with you as I will with them, but I believe it would be best to disclose that information once everyone else is present." Grafia. "That sounds reasonable, Issei. However, before we continue, there is something I need to tell you." But before Grafia could proceed, they heard a knock on the door of the room where they were having their meeting in. Seraphol. "Sorry for interrupting, but the other Devil Kings will arrive soon." we need to head to the meeting room now. Issei. Alright, we'll be right there. Grafia, can we continue our conversation after the meeting? Grafia. Yes, we can continue our conversation afterwards. Issei. Okay, let's head to the meeting room then. Grafia. Agreed, we shouldn't keep anyone waiting. Scene shifts to the meeting room in the Leviathan Castle. Issei. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to attend this meeting. I have important matters to discuss with you. Surziches. Issei, it's no trouble at all. However, we are curious about the purpose of this gathering. Issei, I understand Lord Surziches Lucifer. To put it simply, I want to expose the Council's crimes, including the slaughter of the Nekomata, their favoritism towards pure-blood devils, and their mistreatment of lower to mid-class devils and reincarnated devils. Additionally, I intend to sever ties with the Gremory clan for 2 reasons. First, I aim to bring Rias Gremory's actions to light. Lord Falbium, have you been briefed on the situation by Serafol or Ajuka? Falbium, yes, Red Dragon Emperor. Ajuka has already informed me. But please, call me Falbium. I insist. Issei. Alright, only if you call me Issei. Falbium. Fair enough, Issei. Please continue with what you were saying before we got sidetracked. Issei. You're right. Let's get back to the topic at hand. If I expose everything Rias has done, it will likely result in a complete severance of my relationship with the Gremory clan. This brings me to my next point. I have no sympathy for Rias because her actions have brought her to this point. As the heir to the Gremory clan, any action she takes, whether good or bad, reflects on the entire clan and influences how others perceive it. Ajuka, you should understand this well, considering how Diodora's actions negatively impacted the Astaroth clan as a whole. Ajuka. That is indeed true. Diodora's foolish actions have caused significant damage to our clan. Issei. However, as I mentioned before, Ajuka, I am determined to strengthen my relationship with the Astaroth clan in order to assist in repairing our clan's reputation. Surziches. While I understand your focus on the Astaroth clan, I have concerns regarding my son, Milikas. He will suffer alongside Rias and the Gremory clan. Therefore, it is entirely justified for you to reveal the truth and the crimes committed by my sister. I agree that it is due to the indulgence and self-centeredness my parents and I displayed towards Rias that we have reached this point. I fear that young Milikas will bear the brunt of something he had no involvement in. Issei. Surziches, I am relieved to hear that you acknowledge your role in spoiling Rias. You are not requesting me to withhold the truth about her crimes or shield her from facing the consequences of her actions. Surziches. I have come to realize that my parents and I played a part in shaping Rias into a self-centered and entitled young woman. It has become evident to me that I have failed as an older brother when I witnessed her begging and pleading for you not to expose her crimes. Protecting her would only enable her behavior and could lead to more problems in the future. As the Devil King, Surziches Lucifer, I cannot turn a blind eye to the abuse of her power and mishandling of the territory, especially in violation of the agreement with the Shinto pantheon. Lady Amaterasu was justified in her actions towards both me and my sister. I now understand why you defended Serafol and Sona. Surziches stood up and bowed before Issei. Issei, I wholeheartedly apologize to you, not just as the Devil King Lucifer, but as Surziches Gremory. Issei. There is no longer any need for you to apologize. I can see that you have acknowledged your mistakes with Rias and are actively trying to correct them by allowing her to face the consequences. So, I had a discussion with Grafia about this beforehand. I believe the best way to protect Milikas from the impending chaos in the Gremory family is for him to become a Lucifuge. Surziches. What? Grafia. I understand your love for your family, but considering Ria's actions and the negative repercussions they will have on the Gremory family, the only way to spare Milikas from that is for him to separate from the Gremory household. Surziches. Grafia, are you suggesting what I think you are? Grafia. Yes, my king. I propose that Milikas revive the Lucifuge family and assume the role of the new heir to the clan. Surziches. I see. Issei, I understand Surziches. That this might be shocking to hear, but honestly, believe me, it's the best option for Milikas. Grafia also agrees with me on this, seeing this as the best plan for young Milikas to prevent him from being an unwilling participant in the consequences of your sister's actions. Additionally, I would like your and Grafia's permission to take Milikas with me to Kyoto for a while until things settle down. And with Milikas and Kunu being similar in age, it would be beneficial for them to interact and play together and become friends with each other and possibly even more in the future. Grafia. He is absolutely right, my king. Milikas lacks the opportunities to interact with kids his age, so this would be beneficial for him. And like Issei said, Kunu and Milikas are near the same age range, and it would be good to see them become friends or even more. Moreover, you can trust that he will be safe with Issei and Yasaka there. He will continue his studies, having somebody to do it with instead of doing it alone. And, as Issei said, this will keep Milikas from dealing with the consequences of your sister's actions. So, I firmly agree with this plan proposed by Issei. Issei. Exactly. Kunu will also benefit from having a study partner and generally just having someone her age to play with. But with all that said, Surziches, what do you think about this plan? Surziches. Though it pains me to admit it, you are both correct. Milikas will undoubtedly face the repercussions of Ria's actions. Therefore, I agree to Milikas leaving the Gremory household and reviving the Lucifuge house. He can also stay in Kyoto with you and Yasaka for a period of time until the situation calms down. It would be good for him to be able to play with somebody around his own age. Like you said, if they become just friends or maybe even something more, I don't see any downsides to this. However, I request that Grafia visit and monitor his well-being regularly, if that is agreeable. Issei. I'm perfectly fine with that. Is Grafia as well? Grafia. I would have no problem with that, one, because he's still my little baby boy and I would love to be able to keep an eye on him and check on his well-being. I would be able to spend some more time with my little brother to make up for lost time. Black won't be able to be there all the time because I still have to keep up with my duties as your queen, among other things. Surziches. I'm on board with your plan, Issei, but I would now like to know more. And I assume everyone else here that you have called to be in this meeting would also like to know your overall plan and intentions for your broadcast, if you wouldn't mind. Issei. I'm glad you agree. And of course, now that that's settled, I can get into that. Issei then began to explain everything, including his plans for the broadcast. He discussed some of the things he intends to bring up, along with what happened to him and his engagements. After about 2 hours of discussion and going over all the details, including how it would be publicized to the underworld media, they began preparations to announce that he intended to reveal the council's misdeeds. He also mentioned his new place among the alliance as the new Yokai faction leader. He knew full well the consequences of this announcement and the aftermath that would follow. In just a matter of days, the very foundations of the underworld would be rocked to their core. The hero's imminent announcement would send shockwaves through the ranks of the devils, leaving certain individuals to face the consequences of their actions. The time had come to bring to light the crimes of the council and hold them accountable for their actions against the Yokai faction. Soon, all would know the new lord of the Yokai, and enemies and allies alike would learn to respect and fear the power he now held. The meeting between Issei and everyone had just ended and now he was walking through the Leviathan mansion with Seraphol. She had mentioned that there were some people who wanted to see him, which didn't come as a surprise to Issei. After all, he had just made his big return, saving people and showcasing his new appearance and powers. He couldn't help but feel curious about who Seraphol was leading him to. As they reached the door of the room where the people were waiting, Seraphol spoke up. Seraphol. So, ready, Ice-kun. You'll probably be bombarded with questions, but these people are also here to help us prepare for the upcoming broadcast. It's the perfect opportunity to have a chat and fill them in on everything that happened. Issei raised an eyebrow, intrigued, but nodded in agreement. He pushed open the doors fully and was taken aback. Standing beside Seraphol was her sister and her entire peerage, all waiting for him. Everyone. Issei. Sona's peerage ran up to him, eager to embrace the person they thought was dead. Only Tsubaki, Saji, and Sona held back, a mix of shock and relief on their faces. Issei. Hey, guys. It's been a while. I can tell you all missed me. Momo. Of course, we did. You've done so much for everyone. When we heard what happened, we were heartbroken. We searched tirelessly, hoping against hope that you were still alive. Yeah. She's right. We all had so much respect for you. We saw the good you did for everyone, even with your perverted side. You always strive to be a good person and bring joy to those around you. Tomo. We may have had some clashes in the student council, but that doesn't mean we don't care about you. We were all angry and upset when we found out what Rias and her peerage did to you. Tsubasa. Yeah, we had to hold Sona back from killing Rias when we heard the truth. She was absolutely furious. Sona blushed and cleared her throat, trying to dismiss Tsubasa's comment. Sona. Enough, Tsubasa. At that moment, Issei locked eyes with someone, causing Issei to release his embrace on everyone and approach Saji. The unexpected punch from Saji, which Issei caught, still surprised everyone, but his words quickly followed. Saji. Why didn't you come back sooner? Why did you make us all suffer, thinking that you were gone? I understand that what happened to you was difficult and I don't know the full story yet, but you have to know that all of us were hurting in your absence. My king was upset and even someone I considered a brother was affected. We had our rivalry, but I still respected you. You just left. You could have come to us for help. I don't know what happened, but I need an explanation. But more importantly, Issei interrupted him, expressing his understanding and remorse. He acknowledged that everything would be explained to them and expressed gratitude for the caring people who still had faith in him. After the exchange, Saji and Issei shared a brotherly embrace until the arrival of Sona and Tsubaki, prompting them to break apart. Issei. Hey, Sona and Tsubaki. I wanted to have this conversation with both of you. Before I explain everything, I just want you to know that whatever you're feeling, it's valid. Sona, I understand that opening up might be difficult with so many people around, but please know that I'm here for you. And Tsubaki, I can sense that you're going through some emotional turmoil. If you want, you can let it all out. I'm here now, so there's no reason to keep it bottled up. Tsubaki, breaking her usual stoic facade, couldn't hold back anymore. She embraced Issei tightly, tears streaming down her face as she spoke. Tsubaki. Issei, I'm so incredibly sorry for what happened. You didn't deserve any of it. It breaks my heart to think that someone I had feelings for could do something so cruel to someone as kind-hearted and selfless as you. You've always put your life on the line for others, and finding out that Kiba betrayed you made me furious. If I hadn't restrained myself at the time, I would have done the same to him. But I'm glad you're back. Issei returned the embrace, feeling the wetness of Tsubaki's tears on his clothes. He held her tight in a comforting hug, reassuring her that everything is alright before speaking. Issei. Please don't blame yourself, Tsubaki. I can see that all of you were hurt by what happened to me. I'm sorry for making things worse with my actions, but in that moment, I needed to get away. I couldn't be a part of a peerage that only valued me as long as I did exactly what she wanted. I may regret how I handled it, but I don't regret why I did it. That being said, I'm grateful to be back and to feel the love from all of you who truly care for me. Issei ended the hug with Tsubaki and turned to face Sona. Finally, Tsubaki understood what needed to be done and stepped back, joining the rest of the peerage in Seraphol. Sona, hello Haidu. It has been some time since we last met. I've noticed that you've undergone both physical and behavioral changes. It appears that the past 8 months have had a profound impact on your life. You now possess the presence of a Yakai dragon rather than that of a devil. Could you please explain how this came to be? When Sona's peerage became aware of this revelation, they were taken aback and began to focus on Issei's newfound presence. One of them spoke up, expressing their bewilderment. Baruko? How is this even possible? Saji. Issei, what happened to you? Issei. It seems there are many questions that need answers. This is going to be a long-winded explanation, so I think it'd be best for all of us to take a seat before I start. Is that alright with you? Sona. Very well, please start from the beginning and provide us with a comprehensive account of what has transpired. We are all curious to know what occurred during your absence over the past 8 months. Issei took a deep breath, sat up straight, and prepared to share the full story. As he began explaining everything to Sona and her peerage, another conversation was taking place at Yusaka's castle with Irina, Roswis, and Kunu. While Yusaka was talking with her guest whom her little red fox saved from the Cows Brigade 2 months ago, an old friend came over and brought an unexpected but welcome visitor. Scene change. Yusaka Castle, with Irina, Roswis, and Kunu exploring the grounds. The air was filled with a sense of curiosity and anticipation as they soaked in the beauty and grandeur of the castle. Irina, unable to contain her thoughts any longer, turned to Roswis to engage in a heartfelt conversation. Irina. Roswis, I can't help but wonder if Ice's forgiveness is genuine. I mean, he openly admitted in front of everyone that he had lost all feelings for the other girls. It's remarkable that he still loves me, and it fills my heart with joy thinking about it. Yet, I can't shake off the torment of seeing his sad smile, the tears in his eyes, when he asked me to end his pain by killing him. It was heart-wrenching, and I couldn't bear to bring him more suffering when I was already the cause of so much pain. I still question whether I truly deserve him, let alone his forgiveness. Just as Roswis was about to respond, Kunu interrupted their conversation by halting in her tracks, causing them to stop as well. She turned around, facing Irina directly, and spoke with unexpected insight and maturity. Kunu. Angel, I may not know the specifics of what happened in that meeting, but I found my hero a few months ago, lying on the ground, wounded and broken from whatever ordeal you and the other girls had put him through. My mother and I spent months nurturing his spirit, helping him heal from those emotional wounds. One thing I've learned is that he could never completely let go of his feelings for you, Angel. It's been both beautiful and painful to witness his struggles and progress. But my dad loves you, and he has a kind and forgiving heart. He has chosen to give you a second chance, which means you must be special to him. My mother always taught me that when someone forgives you and offers you a chance to make amends, you should never doubt your worth. Take this opportunity to prove to yourself that you are deserving of his forgiveness and cherish the love that he still holds for you. Both Irina and Roswis were taken aback by the maturity and upfront honesty of the 8-year-old Kunu. Irina, moved by Kunu's words, knelt down and embraced the little fox girl. Irina, thank you Kunu. Your words have dispelled my doubts. I promise you that I will never hurt Ice like that ever again. From now on, I will only love and care for him. I won't make the same mistake again, I promise that. Kunu was grateful for Irina's response and returned the hug. After a few seconds, they broke apart and Kunu spoke up. Kunu, I'm glad to hear that you won't cause my father any more pain. But let's move on from this sad topic and continue exploring the grounds. Oh, by the way, are you a Valkyrie? I'm curious. Roswis was puzzled by the question but nodded in confirmation. Kunu excitedly approached Roswis, surprising both Irina and Roswis. Kunu, since you're from the Norse pantheon, maybe you can help. Dad has been searching for a specific spell in the Great Yokai Mystical Library, but he hasn't found any information except for a few references. Maybe you can help him if you're familiar with Norse magic, right? Upon hearing that Issei was looking for a particular spell, Irina stood up and exchanged a perplexed look with Roswis. Roswis then turned her attention back to Kunu. Roswis? Yes, I come from the Norse pantheon and I used to serve under Odin as one of his Valkyries. But I'm a devil now, but I could try to help Issei if I know the spell he's looking for. I'm just surprised that he's seeking a spell from the Norse pantheon. Do you happen to know the name of the spell? Kunu pondered for a moment before responding. Kunu? I think Dad mentioned something called Valhalla's Gate. Roswis's face revealed confusion as she had never come across such a spell. Despite her extensive research in Asgard's archives and even Odin's personal library, she had never encountered it. Roswis? I've never heard of that spell before. I have searched through the Asgard's archives and even some of Odin's personal collection, but no record of such a spell exists. It's possible that it's a forbidden spell that has been lost throughout history or locked away. It might be best to consult Odin himself. He may have knowledge about it that I don't possess. I can contact him for you, if you'd like. Kunu? Oh, it would be great if you could help my dad research it by contacting that old pervy eye guy. But let's not forget about the tour. I still have more to show you in the castle. And after that, my dad said you guys would play with me. So let's go. Kunu turned around and started walking back down the castle corridors, leaving Irina and Roswis looking at each other. Irina? So, you're telling me that you've never come across a spell called Valhalla's Gate before? Roswis? No, I have thoroughly searched through the archives of Asgard and even explored some of Odin's own personal collections of spells, but I have never come across any mention of such a spell. It is possible that it is a forbidden or lost spell that is hidden somewhere within the archives. I find it concerning that Issei has been going to find spells like this or similar ones in the Yokai Mystical Library, especially since he found a reference to the so-called spell called Valhalla's Gate and is looking for more information about this spell. Irina? I wonder why Issei would need a spell like this. It makes me think he might have stumbled upon something unknown to us. Roswis? It is a possibility. Considering that Issei has been away for 8 months, he could have used that time not only to train, but also to investigate the various groups attacking our alliance, such as the Chaos Brigade. He might have discovered something that necessitates the use of specific spells. My concern lies in the fact that this spell could be in a forbidden section of Asgard's library, or even in Odin's forbidden texts, accessible only to him. This raises further worries about the potential consequences of using such a spell. Irina? The thought of him uncovering something dangerous or forbidden is quite terrifying. Let's hope we are just overthinking things and it's nothing of that nature. Roswis? Yes, we will have to wait for an opportunity to ask Issei about it. In the meantime, it would be best not to dwell on it too much and just focus on the present. Just then, Kunu calls out to them, reminding them that she still has more to show them. Kunu? Hey, are you two coming? I still have plenty of things to show you. Irina and Roswis realize that there is not much they can do with the limited information they have. They decide to catch up with Kunu and continue their tour of the castle, trusting that they will get a chance to discuss this matter with Issei later on. Elsewhere in Yusaka Castle, where she was having a conversation with last descendant of the Leviathan, Ingvald Leviathan. At same time her old friend Karara came over, with a certain Nekashu with her. Yusaka? How are you doing, dear? I hope you understand why I sent you away for the meeting. My little red fox was worried about your safety, as he believed that your presence could have been sensed by the devils present for the meeting, and he didn't want to expose you yet, due to what you know, and what the council would do to keep you from talking. Especially after what you've already been through and all he went through to save you. Ingvald? No worries, I completely understand why he wanted me to leave during the meeting. So, how did it go? Yusaka? Surprisingly well, better than we could have expected. It was surprising Lady Amaterasu herself showed up, which added a bit of tension to the situation. But overall, everything worked out. It seems he finally made peace with the one girl he could never forget and admitted his feelings for her. Ingvald. So, he confirmed his love for the girl Irina. That's good to hear, but I can't help but feel uneasy about her involvement in what happened to him, as you told me. Despite that, I'm glad he was able to forgive her and give her a second chance. At least now, Irina has an opportunity to redeem herself, unlike the other girls you mentioned. Isaka. Indeed, Irina has a chance to make amends, and I believe she will do everything in her power to do so. He forgave her for a reason, and I trust his judgment. He also made amends with the young Phoenix, the woman who tried to save him from his darkness when he appeared on my doorstep. Ingvald. You mean Ravel Phoenix, right? I'm glad they were able to reconcile. I heard it was quite an emotional scene, but it's good they sorted things out. Isaka. Yes, he made it up to her. They had a conversation and a meeting with the other Devil Kings, this time in the presence of Surziches. My dear, when are you going to confess your feelings? I know you care for him, and after all you've done for him during his recovery these past 2 months, it's only fair that you have a chance at love as well. Ingvald. I want to, I really do. But I think I should wait until after he makes his announcement. He already has a lot of important things going on, and I just don't want to trouble him any more than he already is. Because I needed stress or have not even reciprocate my feelings. Isaka. Nonsense, anyone who waits to reveal their love for the person they have fallen for is destined to lose them. Ingvald, you must not hesitate in the war for love. I guarantee that he shares the same feelings for you. I recommend that you tell him. And yes, indeed, you will be going there to help my friend expose the crimes of the council, along with my little red fox, who plans to broadcast his message and reveal what happened to him. Ingvald. Alright, if you think that's what I should do, then I will definitely tell him how I feel and confess my feelings to him. I will also ask him to announce me as one of his fiancés and mates. Yes, it's necessary for him to do it. That's why he kept me hidden for the past 2 months, so that the council couldn't interfere or put a stop to it. I have valuable information against them, considering they were the ones who handed me over to the Chaos Brigade. Their failed attempt to control the dragons with my sacred gear is quite significant. Isaka. Good, there is no need to hide your feelings, and I will definitely help you when the time comes. It was fortunate that my little red fox was in the area searching for certain spells. He stumbled upon information about the Chaos Brigade's plan for you, and when he learned about the meeting and your captivity, he bravely stormed the fortress to rescue you. Ingvald. Yes, I am truly grateful to him. It was a stroke of luck that I got to witness his heroism and his fearlessness. He charged into an entire fortress just to save one girl, and it made my heart skip a beat. I've never had a man go to such great lengths for me without ulterior motives. Isaka. Indeed, he is a loving man with a big heart. He is fearless when it comes to saving others, even if it means risking his own life. Yusaka glanced towards the sliding door and spoke, wouldn't you agree, Kuroka? Kuroka. Your observation skills are as sharp as ever, Lady Isaka. Isaka. Of course. It seems like you have arrived as well, Kurara. It's been a while. I'm glad you were able to take care of our little Ingvald while the meeting was taking place. Out of everyone, you are one of the few I can trust with such an important responsibility, considering how vital she is to both me and my little red fox. Priara. Hey there, no worries about it, considering the new mate you've got. It's about time someone takes a stand and gets justice for the slaughter of my people. I'm actually excited to be a part of this broadcast and shed some light on the council's misdeeds and the unprovoked massacre of the Nekomata and Nekashu. Kurara, an elegant Nekashu with striking black hair, adorned with ornate Japanese buns, emanates an air of beauty. She wears a revealing outfit that accentuates her alluring cleavage, while her orange and yellowish eyes sparkle with allure. 2 graceful cattails and delicate cat ears grace her head and rear, completing her enchanting appearance. Kuroka. Absolutely. I'm all for justice. Isaka. Speaking of which, Kuroka, I've been meaning to ask you. How are Vali and your team doing? I heard that you informed them a while ago that Issei was still alive, and you all had a discussion about something. Mind filling me in on the details? Kuroka. Oh, sure thing, Lady Isaka. So, when I finally managed to set up a meeting with Issei and my group, the atmosphere was pretty tense. LeFay was thrilled to see her idol hero alive. Arthur and Bikyo were pretty upset about what had happened to him, but understood there was nothing they could do about it now. They were also surprised to find out that he is no longer a devil, but a Yokai dragon hybrid. But our team's battle maniac and leader was more interested in how strong Issei had become. They were ready to throw down until I had to step in and remind them why we were there. Long story short, we've decided to leave the Chaos Brigade because we noticed that there's an even more shady group operating from within. We don't want any part of it anymore. We were discussing the idea of joining the alliance, but considering our criminal records, it would have been hard. We figured we needed at least 2 faction leaders to support us, and we thought we could probably get that from Azazel, but we'd face a lot of criticism. So we thought, why not ask you, since you're the future mate and your husband will be the next lord of the Yokai. We were hoping he could grant us amnesty and protection, allowing us to serve the alliance under the Yokai faction. Isaka. So you intend to leave the Chaos Brigade, doing the alliance the vacuum of 2 faction meters, that being Azazel and my future husband. Hiroka. Yes, indeed. When we presented our plan to him, he was fully supportive and agreed to assist us if we help gather information about the activities of the Chaos Brigade, particularly the group within it that seems to be pulling the strings. He assured us that he would provide amnesty and protection in exchange for our help. Isaka. I understand. If my future husband has decided to help you, and as long as you do not have any ulterior motives towards me or my loved ones, I have no objections. However, Kurara, I apologize for not being able to do more during the tragedy that befell the Yokai Nekomata and Nekashu. If we had been stronger at that time, we might have been able to retaliate or, at the very least, protect our people. Kurara. Please understand the predicament we are in. We cannot take action without proper reason or justification. Lady Amaterasu was equally devastated by the events, but without concrete evidence aside from alleged devil attacks on the Yokai faction, we were unable to confront the Devil Council or Devil Kings. Thankfully, Kuroka provided the Red Dragon Emperor with valuable information that shed light on the true motivations of the Chaos Brigade. Kuroka. Absolutely, Kurara. I still remember when I killed my former master, Lord Nibirius. He had a secret laboratory where he conducted experiments on me and other captured Yokai, as per the council's orders. He even attempted to take my sister for his vile experiments before I killed him before he could do anything to her. The laboratory held the crucial information we needed, and I led Issei there to uncover not only the Chaos Brigade's interests, but also the council's involvement. Their attempts to create artificial super devils and extract the powers of Nekomata and Nekashu were shocking revelations. All the evidence we found exposed their nefarious dealings and plans. Ingvild, who was even on rage upon hearing the trustees and actions of the council, and she spoke in anger. Ingvild. It seems that those despicable council members are solely interested in their own welfare and the preservation of outdated traditions. Most of them, if not all, still yearn to be connected and collaborate with the old Satan faction, regardless of the harm they've caused to the underworld and its inhabitants. I can't wait for their crimes to be exposed for all to see, especially with the hero of the underworld standing against them, and irrefutable evidence to showcase their mistreatment of non-pure-blooded devils and the reincarnated devils, as well as anyone who falls below the high-class status. I eagerly await the consequences they will face and the people turning against them. It's disheartening to know that the Devil Kings have done nothing about this. Kuroka. Before you lay blame on them, although I'm not the biggest supporter of the Devil Kings, and I'm not trying to defend them blindly, it seems that the council's actions were done without their knowledge. Even if we were to inform them, they wouldn't believe us without concrete proof. However, now that we do have evidence, we can demonstrate what they did wrong and how they surreptitiously sought the support of the same group that has been causing trouble for the Devils and the Alliance as a whole. Ingvild. I see. It's justice being served and the old devils facing the consequences of their actions. That's all that matters to me. Isaka. You two need not worry. Oh, my little red fox has been fervently worked up over this and has been eager to handle them. I can assure you that there is no way they will escape unscathed, especially now that solid proof demonstrates they're plotting against the Devil Kings and the hero turning against them. They will find it difficult to maintain the people's support once it's known many of the council are working and helping the Chaos Brigade and the old Satan faction. Justice will be served. Kurara. Speaking of which, where is your husband or soon-to-be husband? Isaka. Oh yes, he is currently in the underworld with Ravel, discussing his plans to marry her with her family. Additionally, he is scheduled to meet with the Devil King to inform him of his intentions and prepare for the broadcast in order to address the public about the council's misdeeds. During this broadcast, he will share information about Ingvild Leviathan, who is the last descendant of the Leviathan clan and a hybrid of a devil and a human. He will also demand the return of all the Nekomata and Nekashu that are currently in devil peerages. Kuroka. That seems like a challenging task. How does he plan to remove them from the devil peerages? How does he intend to remove the evil pieces inside them without killing them? We witnessed the consequences when Issei forcefully removed them before. How does he plan on ensuring their return as Yokai? Isaka. He approached Ajuka with a request to develop a safe method for removing the evil pieces without harming the souls associated with them. The goal is to provide a means for individuals who were reincarnated in improper ways to leave without being condemned due to the manipulative actions of other high-class devils. So Ajuka is actively working on finding a solution to prevent the abuse of forcefully or deceptively reincarnating members by high-ranking devils. This solution also applies to your pieces, Kuroka. Kurara. So, through this process, we will be able to rescue the yokai from the clutches of the devils and work towards rebuilding our species. Your maid is truly remarkable. However, Yusaka, we need to address something important, the baby you're carrying right now. Kuroka. What? You're pregnant. Ingvald. How long have you been pregnant and why didn't you inform us sooner? Kurara. Let's all remain calm and allow Yusaka to share the details. I'm sure she will spare no spicy details. Isn't that right, Yusaka? Kurara said with a sinister smile. Yusaka felt a slight pang of anxiety, realizing she had no choice but to open up about her situation. She wished her mate was present to support her, but for now, she took a deep breath and began explaining everything that had transpired between her and her mate, sharing all the details the girls were eager to know. Well, that was the end of part 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this part. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories. Well, with that, take care.